Getting a woman of your dreams is actually very simple as long as you come to terms with a simple truth. You don't need her to be happy. Hi everyone, my name is Tony and welcome to Sinnskraft. On this channel, we talk about men's personal development as it pertains to mindset, fitness, relationships, and lifestyle. And in today's video, we're going to talk about a very sought after topic, how to get the girlfriend of your dreams. If you were to talk to me like 7 years ago, I was in no position to give any kind of relationship advice. I was a total dweeb who would spend his entire day playing video games like World of Warcraft or League of Legends for like 12 hours straight and just watching porn and being scared to death of women. You know, maybe in part that was because I immigrated to the United States at the age of 13 and I had this language barrier. I actually did not speak any English before coming here. So I was very scared that people would make fun of me for the way that I would be pronouncing words and forming sentences. I was scared to the point that I couldn't even go to a grocery store and get myself a water, okay? So this, in turn, contributed to the social awkwardness that I had around people, and especially women, because I was undergoing puberty at the time. And of course, you have all these weird conflicting emotions about the opposite sex. Essentially, once I entered high school, I was like 14 or 15. I was looking at these guys around me who were already getting girlfriends, and I was so depressed. I was like, why can't I be like them? Why do they have girlfriends? They have interest coming to them from these girls, and I'm just sitting here being a weirdo, and no single girl is even looking in my direction. And you know, now looking back, at my situation that I was in at the time, I fully understand. I did not have a girlfriend for the simple reason that I wanted a girlfriend and I needed her to complete my life. After going through several relationships and doing the personal work that I've done on myself in these last 7 years, 7 to 10 years, I can easily tell you that if you're looking for a girl to fill a certain void in your life, if you're looking for a relationship that is going to, be out of a place of lack as opposed to out of a place of love, you are never going to be happy in that relationship. Even if you do attract a woman coming from that position, it is going to be a toxic relationship. It is not going to be something that you can amplify your life with. The number one thing that I want to say before we dive into this topic of how to get a girlfriend of your dreams is that you have to do it from a place where you don't need a relationship for you to feel like you already made it in life and you are happy with the way that you are. Okay? But now let's actually talk about how the actual step-by-step process of how I would go about getting a girlfriend of my dreams. All right, so let's get into it. If you are trying to get a girlfriend of your dreams, you have to develop yourself in two different directions. The first direction will have to do with the pursuit of women themselves. Your conversational skills with a woman, your ability to close, your ability to actually follow up with her, and your skills of interacting with her. And the second part is going to be your personal development as a man. So how your life is developing outside of the relationship. You probably have heard that if you want to get a girlfriend, you just need to focus on the second part. Just build yourself up to the point where, you're a high value man and women are going to pursue you. The women are going to show up in your life. But let me tell you, that is total bullshit, because if you build yourself up into a high value man without actually working on your conversational skills with a woman, you're going to sit there and wait your entire life for the woman to approach you and be like, oh my God, Tony, I love you so much. Let me fall into your arms and love you forever. And we can have children and it's going to be amazing. But that's never going to happen to you. I will tell you, in 99.999% of the cases, a woman of your dreams is not going to approach you, especially if she's a feminine woman. A woman of your dreams is going to wait and she's going to give you cues to approach her, but she's never going to do that herself. You have to be brave enough to do it on your own, which is why you have to really work on those conversational skills with a woman in the first place. So here's what I would do for this development of the first aspect, your conversational skills. There is the good news and the bad news here. The good news is that you don't need to be jacked, rich, or successful if you want to develop your conversational skills with a woman. All you need is just to be basically put together. What I mean by put together is having clean clothes, okay? Get a haircut, maybe shave your face. You don't need to be a beautiful, super handsome man, who looks like Alain Delon or whoever else. You just need to have basic put togetherness. That's it. You don't need to have expensive clothes either. You can go to your basic H&M and get a $10 t-shirt. As long as it's clean and it's not wrinkled, that is what's going to matter here. Now, how do I develop my conversational skills with a woman? Well, there's only one way to do it. You have to have conversations with women. You have to physically get out there into the places where you already go or where you think the women that you want to talk to are. You have to find women that you are physically attracted to. And this is very important. You can't just talk to any woman in this situation to practice this skill, like your mom or your sister. You actually have to seek women that you're physically attracted to, and you have to start conversations with them. Now, the bad news, unfortunately, is that it's extremely freaking scary. I'm not going to lie to you and say that this is not scary. It is going to be one of the scariest things you are going to have to do, especially if you are like myself, who used to be very awkward around starting a conversation with anybody, not just with a woman, okay? It's going to be scary. And every single time you do it, especially in the beginning, your balls are going to be dropping all the way to the floor and back up. In the position that I remember myself, it would probably be easier for me to go bungee jumping off a cliff as opposed to coming up to a girl and starting a conversation. But this is what you have to do. The conversations you have with women in that stage at the very beginning could be literally about anything. You can talk about the weather. You can talk about the t-shirt that she's wearing. You can talk about the cookies that she put in her cart in the grocery store. Whatever those conversations is, it doesn't freaking matter. Your goal is literally to approach her. Even if you say one word, a random word like apple in her face, and she's going to walk away from you thinking you're a weirdo, you win in that situation. Your goal is to literally develop that muscle of coming up to a girl, even though you are scared to death, which you will be, and actually starting a conversation with her. Now, as you get better, and as you come up to the girl more and start those conversations, you're going to get more comfortable in talking to them. You will get rejected a lot. And by rejection, I can mean the girl will just not be interested in talking to you. She's going to walk away. She's going to say that she's in a rush, all these different things. And they're going to happen to you. Trust me. Not every girl is going to be immediately interested in having a conversation with you. Maybe she's going through a bad time in her life or a bad time in her day. There could be many reasons, but it's not your specific fault that you get rejected. Your goal in that situation is not to have a perfect conversation. Your goal is to get rejected as many times as possible so that you don't care anymore about getting rejected. For me, it was like 300 times that I had to come up to a woman at my gym or the grocery store or the park or wherever I was at the time, and get rejected to the point that I was like, you know what? It's just another rejection. I've already done 300 of these conversations. Another one's not going to do anything. And something magical happens when you don't care about getting rejected anymore. You gain this insane level of confidence, and you can just talk to women back and forth. Doesn't matter how attractive they are, because you've been practicing this muscle. It's literally like a muscle that you train at the gym. Now, once you get comfortable at having a basic conversation with a woman about whatever you want, literally the most random topic, the second skill that you have to practice in this conversational, direction of talking to women is closing. And what do I mean by closing? Closing is literally just getting a girl's number. Now, this is going to re-spark a new kind of fear in you again, because now you're not just talking to a girl, you're legitimately physically showing her your romantic interest. And the girl already knows that you are romantically interested in her because you came up to her, unlike the 99% of the guys out there. It's just that now you're actually proving it to her with words. And trust me, it's going to be scary for you again. It's a different kind of muscle in that situation, in that conversational skill that you have to practice. With the woman that you have a good conversation with that seemed like they were into the conversation, or maybe they were not even into the conversation, you just add one sentence at the end before you say you have to go, right? You say, hey, I had a great conversation with you. I have to run right now, but do you think I can get your number so we can continue this conversation later? That's all that you have to say, right? And in that situation, the girl can be like, no, I actually have a boyfriend, or I don't think I don't want to do this. or maybe they're going to give you their number, and then when you text them later, they're going to ghost you, or maybe they give you the wrong number. That also can happen. But it doesn't matter, because your goal is not to follow up with them. Your goal is just to get good at closing, okay? Your goal now is not to even learn how to text girls, where you can find a ton of YouTube videos on that topic, and, go on dates with a bunch of girls. All of these things. You can't do that if you want to, and you're going to already feel confident enough in that position to follow up with women and meet with them and actually get to know them more. But the actual number one goal here is not to do that. It's to literally just practice your closing skills. And those two are the only skills that you really have to develop in this first direction of having conversations with women and being comfortable in having those conversations. Now, the second aspect is you developing yourself as a man. I did make a separate video on this topic about pursuing your masculine mission. It's called You're Throwing Your Life Away. You can find it on my channel. But you essentially also have to really develop yourself in a direction that does not have to do anything with your relationships, okay? Your pursuit of a meaningful purpose in your life. What are your interests? What really sparks that deep passion inside of you? You really have to pursue something in your life, something meaningful that goes beyond just yourself, that you can see yourself doing for the rest of your life and actually leaving some kind of impact on other people, whether it's the government, whether it's your local community, whether it's people around the world that you sell your product to. Whoever that is. When I say pursue your meaningful purpose and your meaningful mission, I mean literally just go out there and do things that you are interested in, with the goal of it growing into something that can go beyond just yourself. And that development of your masculine mission is actually in turn going to help you with this relationship aspect as well. Because a woman, once you get into a relationship with her, even though she's going to be telling you how much she wants you to pay attention to her and have her be the main priority of your life, she subconsciously wants you to follow your mission as the number one priority, because that is what you're meant to do on this earth. You're meant to leave a legacy onto your children, right? And onto the rest of the humanity. And you're meant to improve our society and drive our society forward in some way. That is your number one priority as a man. And the second aspect of personal development, I already forgot which hand it was that was talking about the second aspect. I think it's this one, is going to specifically develop you into that man. For many men, it's going to the gym. Also, developing your physical body, making sure you're healthy, making sure you're working on your discipline, which is then going to carry over into your business pursuits, into your career pursuits, into every other area of your life. It's not that you have to go to the gym to get a girlfriend. You have to go to the gym or do some kind of physical activity to put your body in a place where your life is complete. You're already getting fulfillment from your life. And the work that you do in the second aspect of developing yourself as a man outside of the relationships, with your fitness, with your mindset, which comes from reading books and journaling and working through your issues from childhood with a therapist, all these different things, you are putting yourself in a place where you are already happy with your life before you use your conversational skills and your closing skills and amplify your existing life with your relationship. As you're approaching women and as you're talking to them, as you're getting their numbers, you really have to keep in mind, who is the girl of your dreams, right? Where does your girl go? Is she going to be found at a nightclub, or is she going to be found at a library or at a coffee shop? Are you mainly interested in joking about things with your girl, or are you mainly trying to have very deep existential level conversations with her? Do you want her to be very intellectual, like talk to you about different books? Do you want her to be a very successful person, an entrepreneur? Like, who do you want your girl to be? You have to ask yourself these questions. And as you're talking to women, as you're getting to know them, as you go on dates with them, you really have to narrow down the kind of person that you want to be in your life. And some of these things, you're not even going to know specifically what you want, which is why it's important to potentially go through several relationships that are going to open you up to understanding what kind of woman you're really trying to pursue and what you want out of this relationship. Now, I will say that in my personal experience, it took me many years to figure out really what I want and the kind of woman that would bring fulfillment into my life. And I will tell you that it's a very complicated process, because getting a girl, like things that we talked about with the conversational skills and building up your life, is really the easy part. The hard part is to then sustain your relationship. A relationship is a lot of work. First and foremost, it's 110% dedication from both partners. It's communication about even the smallest things. You get to know a person on the level that you don't get to know anybody else, apart from maybe your mom or your dad or your sister. It's being able to talk about the difficult questions early enough and really accept your partner for who they are. Every certain person comes with a particular baggage in their life. It's very rare that a person is very pure, that, nothing bad has ever happened to them. Everybody always comes with a baggage, and you have to pick a person whose baggage is something that you can deal with and something that you can work through, so that it doesn't cause any issues for you going forward. Sustaining your relationship is a whole separate topic that I will probably make a separate video on, but I just want you to keep it in mind that getting a girl of your dreams is only one part of it. And maybe it's going to last a couple of months for you, enjoying yourself with her, but once you get through that, it's also very important to know that you have to sustain this relationship. And if you want this to be a deep, meaningful relationship that is going to last a lifetime, which I believe is the goal of dating, you're not just dating to have fun, you're dating to marry somebody, because otherwise, what's the point? You, as a human being, you're a monogamous relationship animal. You crave deep intimacy with somebody. That is how you're wired. You will be seeing a lot of these personal development channels on YouTube that are talking to you that you should be exchanging women like gloves back and forth. And I will tell you, maybe this is something you want to do, but it is never going to bring you the level of fulfillment and the level of depth a relationship with a single person for life could do for you. Okay? And many men actually don't do it for the simple reason of being afraid of commitment. And being afraid of commitment is not having responsibility. And not having responsibility, once again, as we always say on this channel, is the quality of a wimp. I really hope that this video was valuable to you. If you are interested in the part of personal development where you work on your meaningful mission and on your fitness and on your mindset, I actually have a course coming out very soon that is going to help you develop just that. I put the waitlist link in the description of this video, and you can also sign up to the newsletter where we talk about the shortened versions of things that we discuss on this channel every single week. The link is also going to be in the description of this video, along with some valuable freebies that you can use for your personal development as a man. If you guys have any questions, please leave a comment below, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Cheers.